I'd like to bring the meeting to order today. Jason, would you lead us in prayer, please, sir?
Bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for watching over us today, and thank you for allowing us to all gather here today and look over this business, Lord. Lord, please guide your hand on everybody that's working on this, Lord, and keep us safe as we travel back home, Lord, in this weather. Thank you for giving your Son to die on the cross for our sins. In your name we pray. Amen.
It's nice to see everyone here on kind of a rainy, gloomy night. Appreciate y'all coming, and it's good to see our citizens here. So we'll kind of get started with this, and maybe we'll miss the next storm before it happens. So we need a motion for the approval of the minutes, please, of the previous meeting.
Make a motion.
I second.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay. We'll move on to the approval of the bills for May payment.
I make a motion that the bills for May be paid.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay. On the new business part, I have just a couple of things to tell you about that I got just a very few minutes ago from GDOT. They'll be up here probably May the 12th or the 17th, and we've got to ride them around and show them where we have facilities for emergency service. June, thank you. June, they were supposed to be here Thursday, and they postponed it just a very few minutes ago and asked for those dates. So they originally told us, going back, that it would be June, correct? That they would kind of tell us what they were going to do about what date the bridge was going to be worked on. Since that time, I kind of got told, not straight out by them, but they were going to do the Madola Bridge out in Epworth area first, as that would be another way for traffic to be diverted around the city here, especially the big trucks. The main way for that will still be coming 60, coming back through part of town here for us, and then through Copper Hill over 64, 68, and that way. So that's still it. That's all I've heard. All we've been getting lately from them are changes that are going to be made on different parts of the road, and that's why you have not saw any other water lines or anything be put in. They had really, in my estimation, they've really messed up a bunch of stuff. And Jason knows what they had us like 16 to 18 feet deep water and sewer lines. We have nothing to work on it with. There's no way we can't do that. And with Jason's help and Davey really staying on them, I believe some of that may be changing. So, like I say, there's just no way that we can do anything like that. So, kind of along those lines, that's pretty much all that I have, that I know on that. Hopefully, we'll hear something maybe in June when they're here. I don't know, but as soon as I know something, it will be, y'all will know, because we'll put it on the new site. We have the new website, and try to, may not be in detail as much as we can tell you when we have the next meeting, but that'll probably be after we even have the June meeting. So hopefully we'll hear something by then. But, the other thing that I need to start off with now is the amendments to the budget for fiscal year 25. So, the revenue, the city general revenue has had some increases and some decreases, resulting in approximately an increase of overall of $40,000. Expenditure amendments result as an increase and use a reserve of approximately $20,000. The expenditures that have kind of increased, the police department, which shows the highest increase, is due to the way we are required by budget and report the grants and payroll benefits. Currently, the department has received approximately $95,000 in grant funds to offset wages and benefits. There will be one more payment for the fiscal year for the fourth quarter ending 6/30/25 and will be paid in July. The significant expenditures for insurance and repairs and maintenance are out of the city's control due to auto insurance in Georgia and unforeseen accidents. The park budget is up slightly. The street department is good and currently under budget. Court wages and fine surcharge are up. The surcharges are inevitable with the increase in citations and fines. In administration, the wages were understated due to the current city clerk remaining employed longer than anticipated and the unforeseen need to purchase new computers. The water and sewer, there have been sewer repairs and maintenance cost increases. The water plant is good and currently under budget. The water distribution is up in wages, overtime, group insurance, lab, and repairs and maintenance. No change in the ARPA fund. These funds are obligated to the completion of the meter project. No changes in the SPLOST budget other than some line items to relocate current expenditures. So with that, Ms. Alita, would you read the resolution, please, ma'am?
Resolution number 25-01, the resolution amending the adopted budget of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Whereas the governing authority of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia has adopted the final budget for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025 in accordance with OCGA 36-81-1, and whereas the city of Mccaysville, Georgia wishes to amend the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Mccaysville, Georgia as follows. Section 1, Purpose. The purpose of this resolution is to amend the budget of the City of Mccaysville as approved and finalized by Mccaysville City Resolution and Ordinance Number 24-09-10. Section 2, Authorization. The mayor is authorized to sign any agreements to implement the budget amendments adopted by this resolution. Section 3, Adoption of Amendments. The budget amendments attached hereto and made a part of this resolution shall be, and the same hereby are adopted and incorporated into the budget of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia for the fiscal year beginning July the 1st, 2024 and ending June the 30th, 2025 in accordance with the requirements of the official code of Georgia annotated. Section 4, Filing copies of budget amendments. The budget amendment documents and attachments shall be maintained on file in the office of the city clerk of Mccaysville and available for public inspection. Section 5, Severability. In any section, part, or provision of this resolution is held invalid or unenforceable, such invalidity or unenforceability shall not affect any other portion of this resolution, and all sections, parts, and provisions of this resolution shall be severable. Section 6, Effective Date. The resolution shall become effective immediately upon its approval by the council.
Okay, I would need a motion to accept this resolution.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay. The next part of the new business is, we've been trying to get started, the farmer's market. Hopefully, well, we're gonna start good, bad, or ugly, whatever, on May the 24th. We have got several folks that have already applied for the permits, and of course Copper Hill is selling those also, and they're both the same price. Some of Tennessee laws are a little bit different than what Georgia's are, but we're kind of being able to work through that and have that. Now this will be, when you come get the permit, it's just like it says on here, it's for fresh produce, homemade goods, local crafts, and that's pretty much it. We're not wanting to have a flea market. We're wanting to have fruits and vegetables and things that people that have made here in this area, instead of just having a flea market. You know, we've had flea markets in town and they have been very successful, but we all thought that we wanted to try to do something so people would have a way to get fresh fruits and vegetables that are grown here by people here, and have something going in town instead of just nothing, you know. And also the thought, or my thought behind that was, if we can do this and it becomes successful, then we are going to have another way of, when the bridge actually does start, people will kind of be used to going that way to have something to go to, and we will help keep our merchants a way to keep people coming into town, because, you know, it's just going to be a mess. So we're all looking and all talking and seeing if we can get things going. Now, you know, may need to be a little patient, but we want to hear from you too. If there's other things that you think we could do to get people in here, we want to hear from you on that. Randall, of course, works down at the park and does a great job keeping that up. Has been talking about trying to do something around Christmas time, maybe decorating it somewhat and having a place for people off the train, which costs one thing. They're in here at night too, and have some lights. Just start off real slow and maybe build up where we would have something for people to walk through, pictures with Santa Claus and that sort of thing. We're hoping we can do that. Talking to several other people about ways to get this, you know, maybe even just have a thing out there here, can make a donation to help us keep increasing it over time. But those are just a very few of the things available. But the farmer's market, it says here, you'll see the one would probably do just a little bit different, still open it up around 8 a.m. and people will can come on in 7:30 to 8. I know I'll be there. Pretty sure Michael will be. And we'll be marking off the places this week. Approximately, I believe it was around 50.
55.
So maybe a few more. We've had a couple of the business owners say, well, you can use our property and put a few more here if you need them. And greatly appreciated that. But we're going to try to accommodate. There's a train coming from Etowah also, and it gets here a little bit later than the one from Blue Ridge and stays just a little bit later to around 1:30. So we'll never get it closed off at 1 p.m. anyway, so 1:32. But before, just kind of be patient before we open the road back up. We're going to make sure that it's picked up and cleaned up of any debris or anything that's left before we open it up and not leave anything there to cause a problem for any of the merchants. So, you know, we gotta be good stewards of what we wanna do on that. So, y'all need anything else? We did make it. Susan had asked about trying to get the Cinco de Mayo back, but we couldn't get it in time. So hopefully maybe next year. That was always a pretty good thing. And I mean, I went to them and I enjoyed them. And so maybe next year that will be another thing, which starts in May. That's May for them too. So anyone have anything else to add? Denise or Nancy? You have a few permits already, right? That are come in.
Got applications, I haven't issued any permits yet. I'm going through Michael,
Okay.
when they send me an application, he's approving them.
Okay.
I've got
Okay.
several people ask for them.
Okay, the next order of business, and this was kind of on me too, is repairing the boards on the pier there in the city park. A lot of you don't even know that it happened, and we don't exactly know when it happened either. But someone stepped through one of the boards out there on that pier. Randall found it, Nancy called. I went down there and met with Randall, and that was right before the trout trough. And we knew that we had to get that thing repaired immediately because of the people and things that were going to be down there. We ended up having to repair, I believe, is 18 boards we found that were bad. We also found there's some rot under one of the beams that is going under there. So we're gonna have to address that fairly quickly. It's not just plumb rotten, but there are a few places that are soft in it. We talked about it around several people and carpenters and that. And there's nothing to vote on or anything tonight. I just kind of want to bring it to your attention. There's a total of, gosh, what is it? There's 213 boards we need, 14 feet. 48's 8 feet, 24's 12 feet, and then the top of the banister, some of that is gone. The wood there is very expensive, but this will be the second, I believe, the second time that this has had to be done since it was fixed. So I would like for y'all to think about, which will make it more expensive, but thinking about the using those new boards they've got out, the composite type boards that are, I think the name of them are Trex. There's several different names. They even make one, we would need to be careful because they make one that gets pretty slick. And they've made one now that is a lot rougher. We can't do nothing but replace underneath with pressure treated. But from the things we have been doing lately, just some repairs and things here at the city, it seems like we're getting a better job and a cheaper price when we buy all the material, and then we just pay labor to repair it, because we're not having to pay the 10% overcharge of what they pay for the material. But right now, I have not been able to find the 14 footers. I'm going to Ace this coming week and see what they are. They have 8s, 12s, and 16s. I really would like to get 14s because you would just lay them down, screw them in, and you're done. You wouldn't have as much waste with the 16s, but you know, the 16s, we could do the 8 footers, and instead of 48, could do the 24. So the gentleman that came and done that, he worked in the rain of course, y'all know as much as it's been raining for 2 days and repaired all that. And, I mean, it was very cheap price. Him and another guy, it was $350 for about 15 hours work. I don't know how they done it, raining like it was, but they made it and we made it. So, just kinda, that's why I've got this one sheet. If you would kinda think about that the next couple of months. And if y'all look at prices and can come up with something, Jason, you might even can find something at a better price. And if all of you would help me do that and look, and we come up with a good plan that we think we can afford, but yeah, it's gonna be very expensive, but we sure can't afford someone getting hurt. And, everybody loves coming here and walking out on that thing, and I do too. But we just need to make sure it's all safe. So,
It's amazing how many people fish out there.
oh, it's, yeah.
I don't know what, I think they're catching
Yeah.
point heads.
Yeah,
They're about that long. I went down there the other day and this guy said, "You been catching anything?" He said, "Yeah, we've caught 4 or 5. I said, "Well, where are they?" He said, "We rolled back." He said, "It's about that long." I think it was horny heads.
or if y'all know someplace we may can come up with them, I mean, you know, we're open. Just tell us, cause it's just important for you as it is for us to make sure we get the best quality and the best price we can do, and the safest things we can do for everybody that uses that. So, all right, the next thing we need to kind of talk about is the House Bill 581, along with House Bill 92. Susan, Nancy, Denise, and myself went to a meeting yesterday, and this is kind of an extension part of this House Bill 581 that we opted out of. They're still kind of trying to make it a little more difficult for us to keep doing that. It seems like we're gonna have to opt out again the next couple of years. There may be a way out of that, but we don't know what it's gonna cost paperwork-wise to get that done, so we will be looking at that. But please, Susan or Denise, Nancy, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but there is a part on this that is a part 2. There are several parts. And what it would look like, you get your tax notice now, your estimated tax. And on this part 2, if we vote for this part 2, we feel like we would be the most transparent in you being able to see what your tax is. Like, you get your tax bill now, and it lines down through there, your school tax, all those, and it's got an amount right there. And of course, it just says estimated, you know, on this side. If we don't vote in this part 2, that will go away. And this is not us, it's a state deal. You would only have a percentage that's showing what your tax is, just a percent. You would actually have to call the county to get them to tell you what your tax is going to be. You would still have what your home is worth, I believe, but it wouldn't have the price on it, the amount of tax you would owe. And we just really felt like that was kind of a slap in the face, because we have a lot of older adults that are retired, me being one of them, and I don't look at nothing else but how much the tax is. You know, I worry about the other later, but I want to see how much the tax is. So I know that may not be the very best explanation of that, but yeah, I swear, I don't know where it's going to stop on that, but we would need to actually have a vote on that to accept this part 2. And we then we have to call them tomorrow morning and tell them, cause we have, get this, June 15th. So, yeah, it's, what do you do? That's our state legislature.
And to
So-
keep opting out, we have to vote on it on a regular basis, but once you opt in, there's no opting out ever again.
So we would continue to have, I'm assuming that's what, the way I took it,
Yeah.
the 3 meetings. We may not be with the county on it. It may end up that we do it like we did before. We may just have to do it here and have 3 meetings and discuss what we know about that and vote again here to opt out, to keep our taxes exactly like they're looking right now with exactly the same exemptions and things that we normally have. And the county is still way ahead of what the House Bill 581 is. Fannin County is like the number 2 or 3 place in the state of Georgia for how the taxes are. And some of it were number 1. But, you know, I'll be glad for any of y'all to take this with you and look at it. When we finish, you're more than welcome to it. But from my understanding, that is about the best option we have got to make sure that all of us will continue to get to see the same identical tax paper we receive in the mail. So, anybody got any questions? I don't know what I can answer them, but that was pretty much a synopsis of that. It was about a 45-minute meeting, and he was out of there.
How many people was up there? Did you have, was there representation from the entire county?
No,
Was not?
no, there was not.
No.
Do you know who was there?
Yes, I
What
do.
part of the county was there?
The Fannin County Commissioners were all there. We were represented there, and the Board of Education was there.
Nobody from Morganton
No,
or
sir.
Blue Ridge?
No, we're not. But I just feel like, we would, yeah, there's a lot of meetings you have to go to and things like that, but, you know, it's kind of what you sign up for. And I just feel like if we don't go, we're cheating you. And, I don't intend to do that. That was kind of disappointing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like a waste of money and funds, but they keep pushing this thing and keep making us go through all this.
Well, you know, I'm sure there'll be some that, and excuse me, I think they found out about it last Tuesday, I believe was the date they told us. And we had the meeting yesterday, and that was when they finally got all of the information they could get. So to me, it's kind of still a thing that they're trying to make you miss it so that you will be in and you can't ever get out.
No doubt.
Strange thing is, they always leave the door open for you to opt in, but not opt out. So, I wish I could tell you a lot better than what I have, but, y'all got anything kind of to add on that?
No, that's good.
Think of,
We need to take a vote.
Susan, yeah.
It is.
We
Appreciate you staying on top of it.
we would need, well, you know,
Yeah.
we gotta do that.
Yeah,
And,
because we don't want to get
No,
automatically
we're not.
opted in and can never get out.
so, yeah, we would need a motion to vote for this option 2. And, you know,
I make the motion, option 2.
And need a
I said
second.
no.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. And, I'll leave this here for anybody that kind of wants to look at. I saw you yesterday there. Is that kind of what you got out of it too? I mean, you were taking a lot more notes than I were, so, I mean, if you got something to add to that, please do. And anybody's welcome to this, that wants to look at it. I'm glad for you to have that.
I mean, like a lot of people in the county is gonna be surprised.
They are. They are. But, hey, you know, we may get suckered down that hole, but it ain't gonna be because we're not there. That's all I can tell you.
Is the entire state going to be this way? Because I've got some property down South Georgia, I'm just wondering how that's going to
Well,
go.
the question was asked, how many people had opted out and how many people had went into that.
Right.
And with them extending the deadline, I believe I'm right now, correct me if I'm wrong, they said it was right at 50%, I believe is what they said, correct, you too? But that was not the final numbers because it's still going on and more people are opting out of it.
But the school
As they
systems,
see.
80% had
Yeah.
opted out. But with the city, the
Yeah.
counties, it was about
Yeah.
even 50-50.
So, yeah,
Okay.
I wish I could tell you, you probably better call somebody and say, hey, what's going on down
Yeah,
there?
I've got some people in Toombs County where the mother unions are. I'll be talking to the farmers, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good for you.
Yeah.
I think this will give you a heads up of what's
Yeah.
going on there too.
And I'm disappointed Morganton didn't, because I got some land there too, but I'll find out, I guess, when I pay my taxes.
Now,
Well-
Terry, there was a guy, I don't know if it was their attorney for Morganton, he was the guy that sat behind us with the laptop.
Is that the one?
Yeah,
Okay,
he
well,
was
it may
from
have been,
Morganton.
their lawyer there then.
Yeah, I
But
like getting your
as-
tax assessment
as-
ahead of time. and
As
then-
far as the actual councilman, and the mayors, they were not, so that may be so. Thank you for bringing that up. I did see the people behind us there. We was kind of good Baptists then, we was on the front row.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, we'll go to the old business that we had talked about, that I didn't really know enough about it to say anything, but Jason does. Can you talk to us about this
Yeah, this is
invoice cloud?
Invoice Cloud. I've talked to Nancy about it. We've been looking at it. It's basically to go kind of all electronic with our billings and payments. And there is a savings for the city using this. However, there's a cost that will be passed on to the customer. So we didn't feel like at this time it would be beneficial to do that, especially with the increases we had several months back. So I think we just wait and maybe revisit it in a year. And see if it's beneficial then, or if their pricing structure changes. But it's something we'll probably wind up having to do eventually, I would think. But I think the way our system's set up now, we're in pretty good shape. So
Okay.
everybody's good with that.
Okay, the next order of business which we tabled was the LRA grant, and that is the grant that we got that we didn't have to have a matching fund for. And we were looking for a place to use it that would, really be worth doing. And what we looked at, finally came up with, Michael and I did a bunch of riding around to see what we could do with it. There was some question about Sutton Street, which goes from Old Epworth Road, or what all of us always call Billmore Town, to go up toward Grindstaff's. And there's a short section right in there that is still Sutton Street that Nancy and I looked at it too. That is county road, and it's not in good shape. Talked with Jamie instantly yesterday about that, and he's gonna come down and look at it and see if he can't get that on the list for them to get done pretty quick. It really needs some attention up through there. So I guess as all of you have seen, they're working on the road down here by the ballpark. And just to let you know, you need to thank Fannin County for doing that. They proposed and came up because they use the road as much or more than anybody does in Tennessee. So they came up with a one-time deal to help them out and pave that. And of course, our city limit ends some right there around the parts store a little bit, just a little bit past that. It's kind of iffy right in there where. And that road, actually our part of it, needs some repair also. So while they were down here, we had them to estimate that, looking at it, and of course I believe it's $29,000 that we have that we can spend that we don't have to match. The estimate on that was $44,000. So that's from right down there around the parts store, a little bit past it, all the way up, and that street's very wide right through there because of the parking and several other things. So if we decide to do that one, we would have to come up with the additional $15,000, which is less because they're down here doing it right now, the equipment, because if you have them come pave, you have to pay all the equipment, all the fees and charges. I believe Michael and Nancy looked at that, and we do have the funds available, correct, to
It's lost.
repair that. It was lost that we could use that for. So, but it would not come up right to the traffic light, because if we come in and come to that traffic light, there are all the sensors and everything for the lights, and we'd have to pay to repair all that also. So we thought if we get pretty close, back off way 5 feet or so and get away from that and come up to there, we could take care of that part, because that part is also not on the part of the road they say they're gonna fix. So there you are on that. But if we want to do that, we need to let them know pretty quick before they take off and go. So if we want to do that, we would need to vote on that tonight also.
I'll make them, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Can we also, Mayor, put in the motion that we need to pay for the striping as well once it gets paved? That will be an independent company. We usually use, I can't think of Keith's name, Nancy, it does it for us.
We'd have to do that.
Yeah, we'd have to stripe the road after we got it paved, but that probably needs to be in the motion as well. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for the paving and the striping.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, that will take care of that part. Okay, one other thing I would like to mention before we go to the reports and the other business. Down in front of IGA, you turn up 60. You notice right there the road's dipped way down. We contacted them, Davey, Michael, and the water department, the police department were working together on that. I went on down there to see what was going on. And the state came by and said, nope, it's not ours, it's yours. It's the sewer lines and all that caving in. So Michael and Davey got together. They took the new part. I want you to know how great that was, having the camera that they run through the pipes. We ran it 85 feet, clear as it could be. Not caved in at all. You can see the pictures, you can see everything. That piece of equipment that was, I believe, $11,000 that we purchased. Right there probably saved us $80,000 or $90,000 right there by just having that. So it's their baby and they're supposed to start on that. I'm thinking they said maybe next week
Yes, sir.
is what they're saying. So thank you all for having the forethought of getting that piece of equipment, and for you bringing it up, and Davey doing that also, because that right there paid for that 3 or 4 times over. So with that being said, that's kind of about all that I'd like to bring to y'all's attention right now. But reports and other business from the council members. Anybody have anything they would like to bring up at this time? We need to look at anything at all. You know, kind of give you an extra report. The granite will be put in for the front Thursday or Friday at the very latest. Then we will just have a little bit of painting and the door fixed where it would be open and the glass put in. We couldn't get the glass in until we got the countertops in. So it's, I told y'all I was hoping it'd be ready by now, but hey, maybe next time. So hopefully next time we can look at it. But this is really, to me, a very worthwhile thing, because it would really protect the ladies that work in here, and they'll feel a lot more safe, and they can see everybody coming in and going and what's going on. And we're already getting a lot of the walkers and the comer buyers and look through the windows and see what's going on. It's strange times here. So anyway.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, kind of like that. So of course, Miss Courtney is on vacation right now. I hope she's having a great time with her family. So
Thank you, I am.
yeah, great, glad you are. Look forward to seeing you here again soon.
Yep, I'll be there Thursday.
All right. Well, may have jet lag, but we'll see you. Okay. Denise or Nancy, you have anything y'all need to bring up? Okay. Mr. Mike, sir.
So the past 30 days, we had 739 activity calls. We just received our last F-150 pickup truck today. So if you see some police trucks out and about, we do have them now, and they are being used by our police officers. The new officer that y'all voted to hire last month will start in the morning. Tomorrow will be his first day. That will be Bill Higdon. Obviously, it's that time of the year again. The tubing, the rafting, the kayaking is about to start. So be cautious with all the tourists coming in, especially on Toccoa Avenue. It's a little early to announce this, but you know, July 4th and 5th is going to be a very busy holiday weekend for us. Obviously the 4th, Blue Ridge will do their festivities that night. However, we'll have the rodeo down here that night on the 4th. And then on July the 5th, that Saturday, is when we'll do our festivities for the community and the rodeo as well. But one thing I wanted to address to y'all is this is National Police Week. And I think I got a few of my officers in here, and I appreciate them being here, but just wanted to say that this week we set a time aside to honor and remember the brave men and women of our law enforcement across this nation, especially those who've given their lives in the line of duty. And we've had 25 so far this year. We're tied with California. Georgia is, being the #1 state to lose police officers in the line of duty. It's kind of disheartening, but it's here. But the men and women of the Mccaysville Police Department are not just employees, they are warriors, counselors, medics, protectors, and often silent victims of a profession that takes far more than it ever gives back. We walk into homes where children cry over the lifeless bodies of their parents. We zip up body bags on the side of the road after a wreck that was preventable. We knock on doors at 3 a.m. to deliver the kind of news that shatters families forever. We run toward gunfights, into burning homes, into chaos because someone has to. And more often than that, we do it with no thanks, no praise, and no peace. We see the worst of humanity. We stand face to face with evil. We respond to suicides, overdoses, domestic violence that leaves scars for deeper than the physical ones. We wrestle addicts off their last high, and sometimes we're the only ones who ever call them by their first name again. We hold the hands of people taking their last breath, and then we go home, tuck our kids into bed, and try to act like we didn't just see death in its rawest form. The weight of this job is not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and the trauma doesn't clock out. It follows us home, and it shows up in our dreams, in the silence at dinner, in the way we isolate ourselves because we don't want to burden our loved ones. The emotional toll is relentless, and we carry the faces of the dead, the screams of the abused. The blood on our hands is not just on our uniforms, but it's in our minds forever. I could just keep going, but I just want to thank my guys for what they do. I could not do this job as the police chief without them. I appreciate them more than they'll ever know. We're obviously shorthanded. Every department around is. It seems like we're just stealing this one from this department, stealing this one from this department, and we're never getting any new applicants. What a lot of people don't understand is boot camp for a police officer now is 6 months long. Your military is only 10, 11 weeks, but for a police officer it's 6 months long. So you're not going to find anybody that wants to leave their families, their wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, and go to the police academy. So I appreciate what we do have, and I just wanted to let the council know, if you see one of the guys, tell them thank you, and I appreciate what they do. That's all I have.
Okay, now we get to your turn, so anybody have anything they would like to bring up at this time? I won't tell a couple of you guys I appreciate the calls, that you let me know things are going on that we need to go look at. You may think you're bothering me and it makes me mad, but it don't. You know, at least we got people that care about what's going on and what's going on in their community. And I thank you for doing that. I really do.
I wanted to update you guys. A couple months ago, you approved the microchip station. It should be here next week. So
Alright.
when it comes, I'll have the guy call you guys to see where to put it and that sort of stuff. And then I wanted to ask, or Barking Buddies would like to ask, on June 28th, which is a Saturday, from 9 to 12, they would like to have they do about 4 or 5 microchip events every year, which is free to folks, so they don't have to pay to have their dog microchipped. They do that as a service. So I asked them if you guys approved it, if they could do one down this way to kind of get some of those folks down this way. So June 28th from 9 to 12, it'd just be about 50 people, and they'll pre-register them and give them a time, so it won't be chaos down at the park. But if that would like to rent a
Exactly
pavilion.
what is that?
So if you have a dog and it goes missing, what they do is they just inject a little microchip in it, almost like a shot. So that way, if it goes missing, it can be scanned.
So that's what they're gonna do is
Yes.
microchip dogs?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
So it'd just be that morning from 9 to 12.
I make the motion.
I'll say
That we-
All in favor?
You will need to
Any
call the
opposed?
city hall though and check the park reservation. I don't know if they'll need the parking lot or,
Okay.
Excuse me. When she called and told me about this,
you check.
I took the liberty of having that set aside on that day, on the 28th,
Okay.
for that pavilion. Thank you. I would have never thought of it if you hadn't said that. But, yeah, that's, I did.
Good job.
Well, I couldn't remember I did it, so that's a bad thing.
Thank y'all.
As you know, things are getting busier here and it is showing, and we are having more calls about hooking up water. We're having several homes now that are being redone and fixed up, so we're kind of in that pattern now that it kind of seems like it's working down that way here. So, yeah, it's real important that y'all help us keep up with things that are going around in your area. It's, sometimes you can't see for looking that something, needs to be fixed or repaired. The bridge, across the bridge will be paved, the place that we needed to, where it's the big dip on the old, steel bridge will be fixed before they leave. They have told us, yeah, it'll be fixed before next Saturday. So, hopefully so. Anyone? Yes, ma'am.
The electronic sign that reads speed on Hillcrest, is that ever gonna happen?
Yes.
Because, man, those guys are ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
And it's not just the speed, it's the number. I mean, they just
Yeah, it's
figured
really-
it out.
well, everybody's figuring out that they can go this way and skip all the
Yeah,
construction.
yeah.
So, yeah, and Michael has asked the guys to do extra patrols there and watch when they're coming in and leaving, because that seems to be kind of when they first hit it, and then when they get to the top and they start down,
Yes, that's,
and then when they get past where you go to my house, down that way.
yep. And then when
By the
they're
time
coming
they
back
get to the
the other
bottom,
way.
they kind
Yeah,
of start
yeah.
looking a little bit, so.
I know, I wanna take a piece of chalk and go, still 20,
Yeah,
still 20, moron. Slow down, it's still 20.
some folks just can't read.
Well, what they do is go up to 5 really fast. Coming back, they slow down, because when I sit on my front or open my garage and sit on my seat, the same people do the same thing day in and day out, morning and night. And some people go out about every 15 minutes. I don't know where they're going, but they're coming back trying to run out again, so. But it's the same people.
And we're trying, I mean,
I know you
Yeah, we
are.
know
I
that's why.
think we
said
wrote
about the sign.
72 speeding tickets last month, if I ain't mistaken. But what a lot of people don't realize, we have to give you at least 10 miles over before we can stop you.
Right,
So if the speed limit's 20, we can't pull you over unless you're going 31.
yeah, yeah,
So a lot of people don't realize that. Now, Georgia State Patrol can stop you for 1 mile over,
yeah.
but we cannot, so we're trying. But yes, a lot of traffic is going to start hitting these side streets with all the
Yeah.
construction that we got.
I mean, because, even though our road, I know y'all know Hillcrest is like this, but man, they're accelerating going down that hill. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
You're talking about construction. Can anybody tell us what's going on right up here with this tall concrete wall that's being built? What?
That's part of the roundabout.
So,
But how is that going to work?
do you want me?
They hadn't figured it out yet.
So basically, the wall that's coming down by the Papa's Pizza there, that road's going to be elevated. It's coming up. That
Does that
road
mean we're
going
going to
by.
have a mountain to climb to get up there to the roundabout and then it flattens out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that concrete retaining wall they're building in front of Papa's is going to be about 8 foot tall, permanent concrete. What you see on the other side that they've built up with gravel is going to be removed once they get their piece of machinery up there and drill the holes in the bank to build a concrete retaining wall for that bank. It looks like it's caving in. So, yeah, It will be a mess.
But is the height of the wall, does that have anything to do with the elevation of the road?
Yeah, because the dirt and stuff's gonna be pushing up against that concrete retaining wall for the road as it gets elevated.
So
Yeah,
that
we'll have
roundabout, those roundabouts have to be flat when they put them in. In order to do that, they gotta
So,
steepen the road going out.
if I understand it right, you're gonna come come down Mccaysville Hill, turn down toward town, down a hill, go into a flat place, and then turn down a hill again to get into town?
So where Kingtown Street is, that's all gonna be level. The concrete retaining wall, that's where First Street used to be, like getting to your place. You see that little concrete retaining wall that's already there? That's gonna be the roundabout level right there.
So that means we're gonna be going up a steep hill to get to the roundabout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
just
basically
think when you come
everybody
off of
flat.
it, you
Full.
go down the road, goes-
There'll be six flags.
There goes the winter bluff.
They are.
Winter bluff road.
Yeah. It will be, I mean, 'cause it's gonna come, grass
Anyone else just have anything? Yes, ma'am.
This question, but the house, when you're going up, Hillcrest, and on that corner right there, there's a cute little house there with a trailer behind it, and then there's that brown house that's been,
Yeah, for about 50 years, Glenn.
yeah, and I know that came up a while ago. Whatever happened, cause it's still sitting there, it's partially boarded up, it's,
Well, I know several folks have tried to purchase that, and the answer was no.
so it's just gonna let it fall down and
Well,
rot?
the yard looks like it's on bale hay like South Georgia does. Seriously.
I mean, we just wondered, cause I knew they'd come up, but I never heard a
I've been
resolution.
wondering about that for a long time, what
Yeah.
they're gonna do with it. I think there's a gentleman, I believe, maybe in South Town, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I might have missed it, but I was like, I was just curious to hear what was going on with it.
Yeah. And, we have talked to, one person about a problem that we had on, East Tennessee. It's supposed to be getting taken care of. The, other one, we have not found the person there yet to talk to them, so we will eventually we just gotta catch them there at the right time. So, that's kinda on that. Before we leave though, I do wanna thank all of you on the council folks here for continuing to let me call you and ask you questions and things when you're home, and I know you're just getting off, and I hate to bother you, but I wanna make sure that everyone knows kind of things that are happening that we need to work on. Kind of apologize for not getting hold of many people at the time to fix the pier out there, but it was kind of like, we gotta do it now. So, I do apologize for that, but we need it fixed. I did want you to know what was going on and what it looks like, so. With that, if anyone doesn't, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sir.
I've got something here that I will show y'all and leave the copies here. If you know of any soldiers that is trying to make a claim of some type for their service, they got a broke leg or they got lost an arm or something like that, trying to make a claim. There is information on here. They're starting up a place where you can go and they're going to give you help in filing the claim, and if you've already got it filed, they're supposed to give you help in finding out where it's at, because if you've ever filed one, it takes tremendous time. So they asked me, the American Legion asked me to put some of these up, and I've stuck them around here and there, but I thought I'd bring what I have left here. And if you know of anybody, take it, and might be of some help to them. I think it's, let's see, 20th, that they're gonna have a seminar. So, there they are. Anybody needs them, or you know anybody?
I was gonna ask about, they were gonna do the photos and banners. Where did they ever get with that? Have they done any more about that? With the
Oh,
veterans?
yes, so I spoke to Jim, which I know Jim's not the commander anymore of the American Legion, but I've been in contact with him, just trying to see what they're gonna do. They're fixing to take some more poles and dig the sidewalks up. So I'm trying to see what they're gonna do with that first. 'Cause I don't wanna put
Yeah, really
something nice up and they tear it down. So, a lot of things are.
Just keep reminding us.
Yeah.
We'll check on it. Seriously, I mean,
Yeah, it's a good
things
idea.
can get by you if you don't have folks helping you remember.
Some in the park around the
Yes.
memorial there for now.
Anyone else before we close?
Yeah, I have a
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
I've just heard around that there's some homes being set up in town with, as like RVs and such being set up as permanent residents. Is there any kind of ordinance or what is, I know some of y'all have had to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Supposedly, Blue Ridge has an ordinance on something like that, and do we have anything on that, or?
Not at the time. There's still some things, y'all may know more, that are being worked out with our lawyer to make sure that we're good with everything we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of waiting to make sure we don't have to do the ordinance and then keep changing and changing and
Right.
changing. So, yeah, it's still being looked at. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Question? Okay, anyone else then? I would need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Thank y'all very much for being here.
Thanks, Michael.
Oh, thank you, Courtney.
See you Thursday.
Scared me too. I heard my name on that. That ain't Morgan Freeman, like God.
Yeah, you sign.